send someone else because it's a friend of our family. So
Do your buyers come to your inspections?
my buyers are up in Ohio. So
Oh,
I got to be their eyes and ears. You know how that goes. Uh,
yeah. I mean, I've
anyhow,
done both. Buyers attend sometimes, but if they're out of state, they don't attend. But I like for them to be there as
yeah,
well.
I definitely like to make sure that I have all my ducks in a row. And
Mhm.
at the end of the day, it is what it is. So, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Wednesday call. It is August 5th. Ooh. Today, we're going to be talking about seminars, workshops, all the things that we all want to be doing, but how are we going to accomplish them? I think it's really important for us to get our pipeline in order for people who want to work with us and how we're
Mhm.
going to do it. So, we're going to talk about that a little bit. But before I do, I always like to start off with a couple of wins. Anyone has any wins that are happening? Tell me, tell me, tell me. Love all these cameras on today. Awesome.
I'm having lunch with a marketing director today at a community.
Hey, that's fabulous. Is this someone that you know already or that is it new?
No, I've met her before. I've met her at a couple of events. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Building that relationship. That's important.
Absolutely.
I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I love it. All right. What else? Someone else, tell me something good.
So I invited one of the marketing directors at a local assisted living. She and I have been connected for I guess past 2.5 years, and she came to one of our BNI events and
Oh,
she made really great connections. And now she wants to come and visit our weekly meeting.
nice. I love that. Fabulous. Anyone else? Love it. Love it. Nicole, I gotta have text me. I'm gonna put my number in the chat because I emailed you a couple of times, but I don't know if it's going through. So text me today because we gotta get together. I owe you a call. And Frankie, I am fixing your issue on the network. So that's going to get fixed today because I'm going to have like 2.5 hours at my home inspection to do some admin work. That's what we, that's the exciting thing. I'll be able to get through some awesome stuff. Well, thank you all for joining. I see there's some new folks in here, or maybe some folks who haven't been on for a while. So why doesn't everyone put in the chat where you are from? Where are you from? And if you came here and you found this online, did you find it by searching or did you find it by pack or did you find it by the Senior Agent Collective group? Some of you are dual, so if it's dual, just write both because we're going to be transforming a few things and I just want to see where everyone is coming from and I don't want anyone to get lost in the sauce. So, a couple of things about me that most of you already know. I gotta make sure I'm recording. Yes, I am. Um, I'm a former executive director of assisted living. I didn't wake up one day and say, hey, this is a great idea. I should coach agents in this, right? I'm doing this because at the end of the day, I'm up to now close to 450 seniors that I've moved into senior living in the past decade and a half-ish. Okay. So hold on one second, babe. Sweet potato. It's good morning. Sorry, I'm making my dog his sweet potatoes. Just sneak it in. I'm like, it's on the stove. So I have seen everything. I have experienced a lot of family dynamics, and every family states that their family is dysfunctional. And I always tell everyone they all are. No matter what you think, no matter if you think that this family next door is like the perfect family with the two Volvos and the four kids and the two dogs, everyone's got problems. Okay. So I always get that out of the way. But most importantly, I always give them advice. And the advice I give them is from experience. So I'll tell you a quick story about my client. Some of you may have heard about this. My client who passed away 2 days before closing. And I was working with the family for 2 years. This was a referral for me. And I explained to the family that you need to get a ladybird deed because they didn't want to spend the money on a trust. And a ladybird deed down here in Florida costs about $650 to do, while a trust is about $3,500 in our area. And I said, you need to get on the deed. And if you don't know what a ladybird deed is, if you own the home, you can add in anyone. Most of the time, it's your adult children. And when you pass away, all they need is a death certificate and it just goes to that person. Well, their mom had a lot of debt collectors, shopped at QVC, spent over $250,000 on items at QVC that were all in her 3-bedroom condo. You couldn't walk in. And I had helped them declutter all of this and make sure that we can get her to a safe place because she was all about 80 pounds soaking wet. And I was like, I don't know how she functioned here. Now, the interesting thing, and I have talked about this at length with Matt Paxton because she was my case study. When I went to the kitchen, it was pristine. There wasn't anything on the counters. The cabinets were not filled to the gills. Everything was set up like a model kitchen. That is not heard of in the hoarding game. If you've dealt with a lot of hoarders, if you've dealt with a lot of psychology courses, that is very unusual. And even Matt was like, oh my gosh, you need to case study her. And I'm like, I know, because the kitchen and the bathroom were the same, pristine. Everything was perfect. So fast forward, we moved her to senior living community of her choosing. And then she started running out of funds. So we downgraded her to a place that wasn't that pricey, that also accepted a Medicaid waiver. And then from there, we knew the health was an issue. So I kept explaining to the sons, you got to get the ladybird deed, got to get the ladybird deed. Well, they didn't. We went into contract on April 29th and we closed 2 days ago. Why do you say it took so long? Because 2 days before closing, she passed away. And on top of passing away, we had to go through probate. So someone's trying to get in and they can't get in. So I had to connect them with an elder law attorney that does probate. I could help them. They did the probate. $5,000 later, the son said, I wish I listened to you and got the ladybird deed. And I said, I know, but they did have to come to the closing table with funds out of hand in order to close on that property. So they lost money because there were a lot of liens on the house as well. Now, everyone has a different circumstance. Everyone has something that happens. You, as an agent that's helping guide them through here, can help them through this journey. But the one thing I want you to take out of your vocabulary, and if you take anything away from today, this is the most important. Do not ever use the word recommend. Take that word and throw it out. We don't recommend. We offer choices. And these are your choices. You could choose to get a ladybird deed or a trust, and this is who you can speak to about it. Here are your 3 elder law attorneys that you can call. Or you could choose not to, and this is the ramifications of that. So we never recommend, we offer choice. So I want you all, yep, Frankie said, here are some options. You can use whatever words you want, just don't use recommend. Because when something goes wrong, they're going to come back to you and say, Angel recommended that I use XYZ home inspector. And you know what? They missed the whole back half of the house. So I want my money to fix that. And because you recommended it, they're going to come after you to fix that. So we all know that, right? But when you're dealing with someone's health and the real estate piece, so when we deal in senior living, and the one thing that I learned in senior living really fast is it's more than just let's move mom or dad into a senior living apartment. It's emotional. It's very traumatic. It's a lot of choices with people who dig their heels in and say, I'm not going anywhere. You have to offer options. And when I still have clients who will call me, I have one lady in particular, Felicia, what do you recommend? I don't recommend anything. Why not? So that I can offer you choices for the lifestyle you are looking for. And these places will meet your lifestyle. But maybe you should look at a couple of places that are outside of your lifestyle choices so that you have something to bounce off of. At the end of the day, we are here to help them through a journey and an intimate time of their life. So you go from not only being an educated agent to a trusted advisor for them. And that is why I like to still partner with folks and bounce ideas off of them. Like today, the new seller I'm supposed to go meet is also looking for senior living. I've tag team with one of my senior placement agents because this one's a doozy. I already know the family dynamics. I already know the issues that are going on. There's some Alzheimer's and dementia, and I know I'm going to need to have good cop, bad cop scenario. So having that person to help me go in for that home visit where we talk about everything is so much easier because it's not all on you. They're going to ask you questions and scenarios that you may never have heard of before. So having a true partner, professional to come with you really does help. Any questions, thoughts before we move on? Because we've got 1 minute before we gotta move on. Have any of you gone on home visits before with partners? And I call it a home visit because it's not a listing visit. It's a visit. You need to see how they live. You need to see what's going on behind closed doors. You know a lot about a person when you go to see them at home. You learn a lot about their lifestyle, and it helps determine how you're going to help them. So just a couple little things to keep as a feather in your cap. Okay.
How do you position that, Felicia? If you're gonna do a home visit versus a listing appointment, how do you position that with talking to the client?
We're just come visit you. Coming out to visit you. Let's come on. We're going to come and meet you. You're going to meet one of my partners. We work together as a team, and we help you figure out your 2 biggest issues. So I already know what their 2 big issues are. It's where am I going to live and how am I going to sell the house? So let's just say I'm going with Geraldine. Geraldine's going to help figure out how to get this house sold, but I'm going to help you with what the best senior living options are. Now, Geraldine and I are already talking about that beforehand. We've already pulled comps. We've already reviewed that, but it's like tag team because I see that Chrissy Matthews is on here, not to call you out, but Chrissy and Courtney work together in a very similar way. So they partner and they both kind of tag team. And it does help with the more complicated, non-straightforward cases, and I use cases because of my background, but clients that you're going to have that are going through this journey. And it just gives you some relief because your goal is to have 5 listing appointments a month. And when they're heavy and they have a lot of baggage with them, that's a lot on you emotionally. As you know, many of us are females here, caregivers. So I always do that. And that's just a conversation I have. And I just say, we're a team and we're coming to see you. And then we already know who's going to talk about what. But we've already discussed like which senior living options are going to be the best. And at 86 years old, a CCRC is probably not the best option to drop down $1 million on a CCRC. That ship has sailed about 10 years ago. So they're not going to see the full benefits of that CCRC. So we talk about those things as well. Because you have to have a certain amount of longevity there for that $1 million to pay off.
What is the best option for somebody that's not that's not good for CCRC?
A rental that offers independent, assisted, and memory care. But the ideal rental, and these are the new concepts that are out there right now, is a rental that you can stay in your own apartment and transition to assisted living and not have to move. That's going to be ideal. So someone asked, what's a CCRC? Continuing Care Retirement Community. And it is a buy-in where you have to put a large chunk of funds down, and then you still pay a monthly fee. The ones that we have here are a minimum of $1 million, and they go up to $4 million for a buy-in with about a $7,000 to $10,000 a month fee. They're very expensive, but they care for you extremely well. The rentals have the community fee, but they just offer all the levels of care minus the skilled nursing, because this skilled nursing is going to be part of a CCRC. And here's the thing, at this person's age, this is going to make the most sense for them. So it's like a one and done when they move. So you definitely want to make sure that that is something that you're talking about with them, and that you discuss that and those options. And when they do bring up CCRC, you have to explain to them that they should have done this a few years ago, because they're not going to enjoy the benefits and their funds aren't going to last them as long. Things to talk about. And that's when you pull in their financial advisor, which I already know who that is, which is awesome. So let's talk about.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What happens if they have if they've already taken out a reverse mortgage?
So let me just
They also have, I'm dealing with an older couple. They live out of state. They actually are in Florida. They have, they've taken out a reverse mortgage because they're running out of funds, but they also have aides, which are draining them financially. And they're asking me what I can suggest to help them. So
where do they want to move?
I don't think they have enough funds for the CCRC at this point.
No. Where do they want to move? They want to move by you, where you're in South Carolina, right? Refresh my memory.
I'm in North Carolina.
North Carolina.
I would love for them to move to North Carolina, but I think they're so used to the familiarity of Florida and they have all their doctors there. I don't think that
So if they have aides, automatically they have to go to assisted living. This is my mind. Why? Because they need 24-hour supervision for the what if. And they need the caregivers to come in to help them with the get up and goes, the bathing, the dressing, whatever the case is for the reason why they have the aides, the housekeeping, the laundry, the companionship. So that, fast forward, they're out. Independent living is done. Take that, crunch it up, and throw it away. So for someone who is independent like that, you do have to find an assisted living that looks more independent than care focused. And we have stuff down here called supervised independent living in assisted living. So we have certain companies that provide that. Now, what's really important is, what area of Florida is it?
Aventura.
Aventura. Okay. So they're in. All right. I have someone, if they haven't started exploring, I do have a placement agent out there that can help them and help be the reason, like the reasoning to help them with this, because they need someone that's going to reason with them and point out to them, you're going to run out of money in 17 months if you keep this way, and your house isn't going to be worth anything. And then you're going to end up in a Medicaid community that is just not that pretty. So how can we help get you to where you need to go, right?
Yeah,
So,
I was hoping to get them somewhere before they did the reverse mortgage, but they already did the reverse mortgage. So, and
yeah, but
I'm
it's
not sure if
new.
they took a lump sum or if they're taking monthly.
That's neither here nor there. If it's pretty new,
Okay.
it should be okay. I'm not a huge fan of reverse mortgages, just putting it out there. Um, I feel as it gives a lot of our aging population false hope, and they need more care than they think they do. And then they end up with two aides draining their wallet at $37 an hour. And it is killing them. And so that's where, that has that. But I will get you in touch. I'll talk to Melissa today, and she's out there.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, the good thing is you guys have to understand. I know people nationwide that can help you with any of these scenarios. Been in this for a long time, and I've moved people all over the US, almost to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. So we move people all around down here because they come down for their family, but then they really don't want to be back with their family. So they want to move back. So this is what we do. Now, when it comes time, I'm going to flip right now to seminars. The fastest way for you to get leads is workshops, seminars, webinars. For those of you who have been on the fence, on the super fence, for how are we going to do this? What are we going to do? What are we going to call it? How do we help our folks figure all this piece out? It is seminars. Now, I'm a huge fan of a series. And I know Jen is on here. She's doing a series. She's doing a great job with it. Series are my favorite because you already have a captive audience. And now we're going to continue to pour into them. And you're going to continue to go from realtor to educated to trusted advisor, because you're now dripping on them. Angel's doing the same thing with her widows group. Okay. You're dripping on them. On August 27th, write this down, I'm hosting a seminar for you. You can call it whatever the heck you want to call it. But it is essentially how to do a first-time home seller seminar and wrap this in to our aging population, decluttering, figuring out what their options are. When is the best time to move? Is it now? Should it be later? Like for my folks, is it in season? Yeah, you can put your house on the market in season, but so are 800,000 other people. So your competition's higher, and you just have to weigh it out. And these are things that we are going to be talking about. We're also going to be talking about what type of reels you're going to do teasers to get people to join, and how to do your social media around this to get the best engagement, and what reels and ads you're going to put out there to get folks to come in, what your payment should look like from your partners to invest in this. And if you're going to do a series of them or break it down into a series where you do one segment at each piece, what does that look like? So if you are a Blueprint member, it is free. If you're not a Blueprint member, it's going to cost $10 to join. I'm also going to add a second option as well, because we're going to give you all the templates. We're going to give you all the social media templates. We're going to give you the Google form to RSVP, the leave behind survey. You name it, you're going to get it. So it's a huge marketing piece for it. And we're going to be pushing this out for you because this is what's going to help your pipeline. Now, I will tell you, I just set up 6 months worth of seminars between October and April with a minimum of 3 events per month. I'm not aggressive or anything, okay? You all have to remember, been doing this for a long time, and I have a team of agents that works for me here, and I need to fill their pipeline. So this is a way for us to build our team and get it out there. Also, as you do this, we're also going to teach you how to put PR out there, how to get in the paper. Because my folks down here like print. Lord knows, print's so expensive. So how are you going to promote this across many different channels to get the word out? Down to the news likes to pick up stuff like this too. So why are we not reaching out? How are we getting that PR out? And how are you going to get on the news? So it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot different than what we've done. Now, if you are a 2.0 student, you know that each week at 11 o'clock, we've been going through 8 different seminars for you and presentations where I'm literally giving you different options for how to build that presentation. So I've done one on Google Slides. I've done one on Canva. I've done one on Gamma. The one today is going to be on Claude. Like, how are you building these out? And what are your different options? So that we all like to have our presentations or do something, right? But there's a lot of different ways to build these presentations. So we are going through these tech tools for you so that you can learn, in a sense, how to use them. I always record, obviously I record it, and then all of the templates go up. So as my 2.0 Blueprint students are going through these, I think we're on number 3 or number 4 right now. We're going through them to make sure that they're going to have options for how to do these. Some of them are really simple, and you're going to say, wow, this is very simple. It's simple to you. It's not simple to an 80 or a 90-year-old. Keep that in mind. If we overload them in one presentation and you're like, these are all the things that you have to do, they're going to be like, I don't know what she just talked about. So breaking it down into bite-sized pieces is a huge recommendation. I said the word R. But it's really something that I encourage because sometimes they just don't understand. And it's okay because this is new for them. How many of you have helped a client before who was a widow and they didn't know how to write a check? They didn't know where the life insurance policy was. They said, I want to sell the house. I don't know what we paid for it. I know it's paid off. My son's helping me with all the finances. I don't even know what my taxes are. Because sometimes Our spouses do everything for us. And so this is something that when you're helping people through this journey, you're helping them with so much more than you know. So we're going to be teaching you some tools that you could bring with you to help them get ready for this. So it's going to be very exciting. I'm just checking the chat. This is, oh, you guys are so sweet. Questions, comments, thoughts, ahas? Do you never want to do a presentation because you don't like to speak?
How do we sign up for your August 27th class?
I will be putting something out. Hopefully today during my home inspection has a big list of things I have to do. I was reminded yesterday that I have a board meeting tomorrow for the nonprofit that I have, and I was like, shoot, I didn't even do the agenda. But I got that done today. It's okay. Just a busy time. So we're going to put that out, and we're going to make sure that you have all the tools to really go with the bang. Now, believe it or not, I hated with capital letters presentations. Hated them. I was a person who would sit in the back and not say a damn word. And then I got forced into it. And I had a senator that came to my community and I had to introduce them. And I had my script and I had to make sure I introduced them properly and said all the things about them. And I was so nervous. And the more and more I practiced, the more and more I failed. Sounds familiar to anyone? And I would practice in front of a Zoom and I would practice. And then when I got up there, it was like the pressure was on and everyone was there and the news was there. And I was like, we're here. And Senator so-and-so is here. They're here to talk about XYZ. So, your mind plays tricks on you. How many of you follow Liz Brown? Oh, Liz Brown is freaking awesome. So she's coming on to talk she just sent me an audio message. She's coming on to talk to us about this person in our head that we all have, this subconscious person in your head that tells you you can't do it. And she calls her name Cheryl. That's her head in their head name, I should say. And
Cheryl or Sheila, I couldn't remember.
Cheryl. Yeah, and she says, Cheryl, get the F out of my head. And she's right, because nobody cares that I have a bump in my hair today over here. Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares if your makeup's on or not on. That is what Facetune is on Zoom. I got Facetune on right now. And if you need help with how to do Facetune, I will show you super quick. Facetune on the bottom, why I get Liz Brown stuff. You see on the bottom where it says audio and then video right next to you? Do y'all see that on the ribbon?
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to click on that upside down caret or V. And then you're going to see video effects settings. You're going to click on that. Another little thing's going to pop up. And you're going to see it says video, appearance, and virtual background. You're going to hit appearance. And you're going to have the ability to smooth out your Botox, your face. It's going to touch up my appearance, adjust for low light. You're going to click that on. Portrait lighting, you're going to click it on. Auto framing, you're going to click it on. And that's it. No one's going to care. I've been doing that for years. And then when I go on a Google Meets, I'm like, oh, I really look like that. We got to laugh, ladies. So sometimes we are our own worst enemy is what I'm just telling you. So don't let it happen. So I'm going to put Liz Brown's Facebook. She's got a lot of different groups, but start with that first. She's going to come on and talk. Gabby and I were on with her this morning. She is just awesome. And if you ever want to learn how to partner with Liz Brown, you just let me know. And you too can learn how to be a rock star with this when you partner with our business partners like Liz Brown, and how to make everything look pretty and perfect and give you just a little bit more confidence, right? Because we all have our own insecurities about things. So don't worry about that. All right, moving on. Questions, thoughts, concerns, because I got 20 minutes before I gotta go and do my other presentation.
I'm gonna pipe in just because my series starts August 26th,
Woohoo!
but I would love any help figuring out all the things that you're gonna do on the 27th.
Okay, so Jana, do me a favor. You can book a half hour with me on my Stand Store. Let me put that in here.
Okay.
So if anyone wants to book a half hour with me, just let me go and find it because I have 50,000 tabs open. You can book that one-on-one and I'll help you. I'll help you through that. Now, if the times on there don't work for you, just message me. I have some times blocked off. So if you're not doing this in your calendar, make sure you are. I have happy hour with my husband blocked off on certain days. I have lunch with my family during the summer on certain days. So sometimes my calendar is blocked off, but it's not blocked off because I try and schedule some downtime, especially during the summertime with my family. And so I could move some things around and move that downtime to another block. So just something to think about. Make sure you have downtime. And don't allow back-to-back meetings. Give yourself a 15-minute buffer on meetings as well. So you could use like a Calendly or an appointment type thing for your calendar, but just give yourself a little buffer because, we all go over. We're over by 8 minutes right now. We know this is going to happen, right? All right, my friends. So be on the lookout for the August 27th seminar. Then make sure if you want to book a call with me, we get that booked in. Texting me is so much better than emails. So my cell phone's in there. I'm going to regret this later, but it's okay. And I will do my best because I have an hour ride up to Cape Coral today and then an hour ride back home. My ride back home is probably going to be an hour 20 with traffic. So I have some time in the car. Get some stuff done. Everybody have a great day. I'm really proud of all of you stepping out of your comfort zone, doing the things. Showing up is the first step. And now we're going to turn you all into some superstars. And you're going to have hundreds of people in your database who want to work with you. All right. I'll talk to you soon, okay? All right. Bye, ladies. Oh, wait, before we leave, everyone's starting to leave. I want to do a quick picture. All right, I grabbed it quick. All right, bye, friends.